सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। 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 सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते।
Hari Om. Namaste, devotees. We are about to begin with today's puja. So first, we are going to sprinkle water on all the prayer goods and all the participating devotees. Om apavitraha pavitrova sarvasangatopiva yasmaret pundarikaksham sabahi abhyantara suchihim. Now we are going to sip water in the palm of the right hand. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Now we're going to wash our hands. Om Hrishikeshaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Madhusudanaya Namaha. Devotees, if you have a Pavitri, a kus ring, please put it on your right ring finger. Om Bhavitesto Vaishnavyo Saviturvaha Prasava Utpunyam Yachidrana Pavitrena Suryasya Rashamabhihi Tasya Te Pavitra Pateha Pavitra Bhutasya Yat Kamaha Pune Takshikeyam. Now we are going to place a Chandan paste tilak on the forehead. Om Chandanam Vandite Nityam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadam Harite Nityam Lakshmiravastu Sarvada. Now we will light either a clay or a brass lamp filled with ghee. Om Bodhipatvam Brahmarupam Andhakara Nibarakam Imam Maya Kritam Pujam Grihastejo Prabardaya Om Deepaya Namaha. Now we are going to sprinkle water on the seat. Om Prithvi Tvaya Dhrita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnuna Dhrita Tvancha Dharyamam Devi Pavitram Kuru Chasanam. Devotees, now we are going to do Swasti Vachan. We will take some flowers and rice in the palm of the right hand. Om Swastina Indro Vridashavaha Swastina Pushaha Vishwadredaha Swastina Sariksho Arishtanemihi Swastino Brihaspati Dadatu Om Payaha Pritivyam Paya Oshadishu Payo Divyantarikshe Payodaha Payasvatihi Pradishaha Santu Mahyam Om Vishnu Raratamasi Vishnu Snaptresto Vishnu Suryasi, Vishnu Durva Asi, Vaishnavamasi, Vaishnave Twaham. Om Agni Devata, Vato Devata, Surya Devata, Chandrama Devata, Vasavo Devata, Rudra Devata, Ditya Devata, Marato Devata, Vishwa Deva Devata, Brihaspatir Devata, Indro Devata, Varno Devata, Deo Shantir, Antarikshavam Shanti, Prithivi Shantir, Apa Shantir, Oshadaya Shanti, Vanaspatya Shantir, Vishwadeva Shantir, Brahma Shanti, Sarvavam Shanti, Shanti Reva, Shanti Sama, Shanti Redi, Om Vishwani Deva Sabtar Dhuritani Parasuva, Yad Bhadram Tana Asuva. Devotees, we are going to hold a betel leaf, betel nut, white rice, flour, and money in the right palm. I'll repeat that. We will hold a betel leaf, betel nut, white rice, flour, and money in the right palm. And we will sprinkle some water onto that. Now, this is water separate from the one that you're drinking from. And devotees, assume you don't have any of the samagri items today. You can use either white rice or flour as a substitute, right? Either white rice or flour as a substitute. So we will now do the sankalp. Harihi Om Tat Sat Paramatmane Shri Purana Purushottamaya Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurashasya Vishnur Agyaya Pravartamaanasyadhyam Brahmane Dvitiya Prararade Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe Kali Yuge Kali Pratime Charine Dakshin Africa Khande KwaZulu Natal Prante, or the province you are in, Durban Nagare, or the city you are in, Queensborough Stane, or the place you are in, Ashwin Mase Shukla Paksha Panchami Tito Shukra Vasare. Devotees, if you know your Gotra, you may use it. Otherwise, I am going to use Kashyap. Kashyap Gotapannam, and here you will take your names mentally. Amukanamani, Shri Ganesh Dhyan, Kalash Dhyan, Surya Navgraha Dhyan, Shiva Dhyan, Shri Lakshmi Puja Karma, Aham Karishye. You may offer this betel leaf, betel nut, white rice, flour, and money on the Bedi. Devotees, now hold flowers and some rice, and we will now do the Ganesh Dhyan. Om He Rambe Tvamehehi Ambika Trayambakatmajam Siddhi Buddhi Patetraksha Laksha Labha Pituhu Pitaha Nagasya Nagaharatwang Ganaraja Chaturbhujam Bhushitaha Swayudhair Divyahi Pashankusha Parashvadehi Avahayami Pujartham Rakshartancha Mama Kataho Iha Gatya Grahanatvam Pujang Kratuncha Rakshame Om Gananantva Ganapate Gvam Havamahe Priyanantva Priyapate Gvam Havamahe Nidinantva Nidipate Gvam Havamahe Vaso Mama Ahamajani Garbadama Twamajasi Garbadam Om Bhurbhuvaswaham Ganapate Namaha Om Ambe Ambike Ambalike Namanayati Kashchana Sasyas Yashvaka Subhadrikam Kam Pilavasinim Om Bhurbhuvaswa Ambikaye Namaha. Devotees, you may offer those flowers and rice onto the Bedi in front of Ganesh Bhagwan. The next dhyan we're going to do is for the Kalash. So we're going to do for Varun Devata. We will offer flowers and rice again. Om Tatvayami Brahmana Vandamanas Shaste Yajamano Havirabhihi Aheramanu Varneha Bodhuyu Rushagam Samana Ayayuhu Pramoshihi. You may offer that in front of the Kalash. If you do not have a Kalash established, you may offer that on the Bedi. Devotees, we will now do the Navagraha Dhyan. We will hold some flowers in the palm and will appeal for blessings from the Navagraha. Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Banu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budascha Gurusha Shukra Shani Rahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Kara Bhavanto. You may offer that on the Vedi, or if you have set up a Nogara Sthan, you may do that there. Devotees, we will now do dhyan for Shiv Bhagwan. We will take flowers and rice and give thanks to him and appeal to him for blessings. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayo Bhavaya Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha Shivaya Namaha. You may offer that on Shiv Bhagwan. Devotees, we will now begin with Lakshmi Puja. We will do dhyan for Devi by offering flowers and rice. Devotees, all our actions should be done with faith and devotion and love for the Devi. You will give thanks and ask for blessings from her. Thank you so much, Devi, for everything you have done for us. Please bless me and my family. And Devi grants us everything we desire. It's not just material aspects, but also grants us spiritual advancement. So please think of whatever you want and appeal to Devi for blessings. Yasa Padmasana Sa Vipala Katitati Padmapatra Yatakshi Gambhira Avartana Bihim Stana Bhara Nimitam Shubhra Vastrotaryaha Ya Lakshmi Divya Rupa Mani Kachitehi Snapita Hema Kumbahim Sanityam Padmahasta Mama Vastu Grehe Sarva Mangalya Yukta. You may offer that on the Vedi by Mahalakshmi. We will now do our Vahan for the Devi. We will offer flowers and rice again. Om Sarva Lokasya Janani Shula Hastam Trilochanam Sarva Devi Maya Misha Devyam Avahayam Yaham. You may offer that by Devi. Now, we are going to offer a seat for Devi, Asan. We will offer flowers. Om Tapta Kanchana Varanabham Mukta Mani Virajitam Amalam Kamalam Divyam Asanam Pratigrihiyatam. You may offer that by Devi. Now we are going to offer water by Devi's feet. Om Gangadi Tirtha Sambhutam Gandha Pushpakshatir Yutam Padyam Dadam Yaham Devi Grahanashu Namestate. We're going to sprinkle water on Devi's hands. Om Ashtagandha Samayuktam Swarna Patra Prapuritam Arghya Grihana Maddatam Mahalakshmi Namastute. We'll now sprinkle water by her mouth. Om Sarvalokasya Ya Shakti Brahma Vishnu Vadi Stuta Dadam Yachmanam Tasye Mahakale Manoharam. We will now offer water for her to bath with on her head. Om Mandakin Yaha Samanita Hemam Bhoru Havasitahe Sanam Kurushva Deveshi Salalelscham Sugandhi Bihi. Devotees, if you have Panchamrit in front of you rather, you may stir it and then we will offer it by Devi. Om Panchamrita Samayuktam Jahana Vi Salilam Shubham Grahana Vishwa Janani Nanartha Bhakta Vatsale. We are now going to offer water where we offer the Panchamrit. Om Ganga Saraswati Reva Payoshni Narmada Jalehi Snaptoasi Maya Devi Tatha Shanti Kurushvame. Devotees, so if you have clothing to offer for Devi, we will offer that. You can touch the clothing. Alternatively, we will offer raw cotton. Om Divyambaram Nutanam Hikshomam tvati manoharam diyamanam maya devi grihana jagadambike. So if you are touching clothing like a sari for Devi, you will continue touching it. Alternatively, we will offer a piece of raw cotton as upavastra, the upper piece of clothing. Om Kanchu Kim Upavastram Cha Nana Ratnehi Samanvitam Grahanatvam Maya Dattam Mangale Jagat Ishwari. So devotees, next we will offer madhupark if you have it. So madhupark is a mixture made with sour milk, ghee, and honey. If you do not have madhupark, you may offer nivedya instead. Alternatively, you can offer flowers or rice. Om Kapilam Dadi Kundendu Davalam Madhu Samyutam Swarna Patrastim Chapi Madhu Parka Grihaname. Abhushan is next. So if you have any type of jewelry for Devi, it can either be in the form of your glass bangles or anything else that you're offering for Devi. We may do that now. Om Ratna Kantana Veduya Mukta Haradi Kanicha Suprasannena Manasa Dattani Swikurushva Boho. Now we will offer perfume for Devi. Om Shri Khanda Garu Karpura Mriganabhi Samanvitam Vilepanam Grihanasu Namastu Bhakta Vatsale. Devotees, now we will offer Rakta Chandan or red Chandan. If you do not have the Rakta Chandan or red Chandan, you may offer the normal Chandan. Rakta Chandana Sammishram Parijata Samudbhavam Maya Dattam Mahalakshmi Chandanam Pratigriyatam. We will now offer Sindur. Om Sinduram Rakta Varna Cha Sindura Tilak Priye Bhaktya Datam Maya Devi Sinduram Pratigriyatam. Kumkum. We'll offer Kumkum. Om Kumkum Kamadam Divyam Kumkuma Kamarupinam Akhanda Kama Sobhagyam Kumkumam Pratigriyatam. Abir. Abir is the white powder. Abiram cha gulalam cha chova chandanam eva cha abhire narchita devi yataha shanti prayaksha cha. Devotees, we will now offer a flower for Devi. Any flower you have. Manadhara parijata din patali ketki tatha maruvamo garam chevam grahanashu namastute. Devotees, we will now offer a pushpamala or a flower garland for Devi. Pushpamala, a flower garland. Om Padma Shankar Japa Pushpahi Shatapatre Vichitratam Pushpamalam Prayachami Grahana Tvam Sureshwari. Durva, so some turf grass. Om Vishnavadi Sarvadevanam Priyam Sarva Sushobhanam Shira Sagara Sambhute Durva Swikuru Sarvada. Tulsi Patra, so a Tulsi leaf. Om Tulsi Hema Rupam Cha Ratna Rupam Cha Manjarim Bhava Moksha Pradam Tubhyam Arpayami Hari Priyaham. So now devotees, Sugandhit Tel. So this is some scented oil. It can be any type of scented oil you have. If you do not have any scented oil, please just use the normal perfume. And not the perfume you use, the red colored perfume water. Om Telani cha Sugandhini Dravyani Vividani cha maya dattani leparta grihana parameshwari. Dhoop or agarbatti. Dhoop or agarbatti. I will give you a few seconds to light the agarbatti. Vanaspati rasotpanno gadadhadyam sumanoharaha apraya sarvadevanam dhupo yaha pratigriyatam. Now Deepak, we will do Aarti. You can either use a ghee lamp for the Aarti. Alternatively, you can light a small piece of camphor. I will give you a few seconds to light that as well. Om Kapuravarti Samyuktam Gritayuktam Manoharam Tamonnashakaram Deepam Grihana Parameshwari. Okay, now devotees, please, whoever was doing the offerings, please wash your hands. Atha hasta prakshalanam. Devotees, we will now offer prasad for Devi. Right, whatever prasad you prepared for Devi. Om Nevedyam Griyata Devi Bhaksha Bhoja Samanvitam Shadra Seranvitam Divyam Lakshmi Devi Namostute. We will now offer Achman, so a drop of water by Devi. Om Shitalam Nirmalam Toyam Kapurena Subhasitam Achmayatam Maya Jalam Prasida Tvam Maheshwari. Now, any seasonal fruit, Ritupal. It can either be whole or cut up. The decision is yours. Om Phalena Phalitam Savam Trilokyam Sa Chacharacham Characharam Tasmata Phala Pradanena Purnaha Santu Manoratha. Now we will offer Pan and Sopari. You can also add a coin to that. Pan and Sopari and a coin. Om Ela Lavanga Karpura Naga Patradi Bhiryutam Pungi Palena Samyuktam Tambulam Pratigriyatam Om Hiranya Garava Garavastham Hema Bijam Vivavasohom Ananta Punya Palada Mata Shanti Priyakshame. So devotees, we will now offer Aarti for Devi. Aarti for Devi. If you are offering the ghee lamp, then you may use that. Alternatively, you may now light a new camphor. I'll give you a few seconds for that. Om Chaksurda Sarvalokanam Timirasa Nivaranam Atikyam Kalpitam Bhaktya Grihana Parameshwari. Om Yani Kani Cha Papani Brahma Hatya Samani Cham Tani Tani Vinashyanti Pradikshana Pade Pade. Hari Om devotees, we will now have two bhajans.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः दुर्गा दुर्गति दूर कर मंगल कर सब काज मन मंदिर उज्जवल करो कृपा करके आ ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं, सब अंधकार मिटा दे मैया, दर से तेरा लख पाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार मिटा दे मैया। जग में आकर जग को मैया अब तक ना पहचान सका, अब तक ना पहचान सका, क्यों आया हूँ कहाँ है जाना, ये भी ना मैं जान सका, ये भी ना मैं जान सका। तू है अगम अगोचर मैया, तू है अगम अगोचर मैया, कहो कैसे लख पाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया। करो कृपा जगदम्बे भवानी, मैं बालक नादान हूँ, मैं बालक नादान हूँ, मैं आराधन जप तप जानूं, मैं अवगुण की खान हूँ, मैं अवगुण की खान हूँ, दे ऐसा वरदान मैया, दे ऐसा वरदान है मैया, सुमिरन तेरा गाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया। मैं बालक तू मैया मेरी, निस दिन तेरी ओट है, निस दिन तेरी ओट है, तेरी कृपा ही मैं मैया, भीतर जो भी खोट है, भीतर जो भी खोट है, शरण लगा लो मुझको मैया, शरण लगा लो मुझको मैया, तुझ पे बलि बलि जाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं, सब अंधकार मिटा दे मैया, दर से तेरा लख पाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया। विश्वास कमजोर होना, इतनी शक्ति हमें देना माता। मन के विश्वास कमजोर होना, हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। शक्ति हमें देना माता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना माता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे, तो हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे। हर बुराई से बचते रहे हम, जितनी भी दे भले जिंदगी दे। बैर होना किसी का किसी से, भावना मन में बदले की होना। हम चले एक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना माता, मन के विश्वास कमजोर होना। हम न सोचे हमें क्या मिला है, हम ये सोचे किया क्या है अर्पण। फूल खुशियों से बनते सभी को, सबका जीवन ही बन जाए मधुबन। अपनी करुणा का जल तो बहा के, करके पावन हर एक मन का होना। हम चले एक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना माता, मन के विश्वास कमजोर होना। शक्ति हमें देना कमजोर होना।
ओम क्लीं ऋषुर्वाच पुरा शुंभा निशुंभाभ्याम असुराभ्याम शशीपतेः त्रैलोक्यं यज्ञभागश्च हृतां मदबलाश्रयात् तावेव सूर्यतां तद्वद् अधिकारं तथैन्दवम् कुबेरमथ यां यं च चक्राते वरुणस्य च तावेव पावनारिद्धिं च चक्रतुर्वहनी कर्म च ततो देवा विनिर्धूतां भ्राष्टराजाः पराजिताः हृताधिकारस्त्रिदाषष्ठ्यभ्यां सर्वे निराकृताः महासुरा भयां तां देवीं संस्मरन्त्यापराजिताम् तयास्माकं वरो दत्तो यथा पत्सु स्मृता किलाः भवतां नाशयिष्यामि तत्क्षणात् परमापदाम् इति कृत्वा मतिं देवा हिमावन्तं नगेश्वरम् जग्मुस्तत्र ततो देवीं विष्णुमायं प्रतुष्टुवुः देवोचु नमो देवे महादेवे शिवाये सततं नमः नमः प्रकृत्राय भद्राय नियताः प्रणताः स्मताम् रौद्राय नमो नित्याय गौराय धात्रये नमो नमः ज्योत्स्नाय चेन्दुरूपिण्ये सुखाय सततं नमः कल्याण्ये प्रणतां वृद्ध्ये सिद्धाय कुर्मो नमो नमः नैर्त्ये भूभृतां लक्ष्मीः सर्वाण्यैते नमो नमः दुर्गाय दुर्गपाराय साराय सर्वकारिण्यै ख्यात्याय तथैव कृष्णाय धूम्राय सततं नमः अतिसौम्यातिरौद्राय नतस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमो जगत्प्रतिष्ठाय देव्याय कृताय नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विष्णुमायेति शब्दिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चैतन्यत्याभिधीयते नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु निद्रारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शुद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तृष्णारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु जातिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लज्जारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु कान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु वृत्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु स्मृतिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तुष्टिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु भ्रान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। इन्द्रियाणाम् अधिष्ठात्री भूतानां चक्षुषु या भूतेषु सततं तस्यै व्याप्त्यै देव्याय नमो नमः। चित्तिरूपेण या कृत्स्नम् एतद् व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। सुतासुरैर्पूर्वम् अभीष्टा संश्रया तथा सुरेन्द्रेण दिनेषु सेविता करोतु सा नः शुभ हेतुरीश्वरी शुभानि भद्रनायम् विहन्तु चापदाहम् या सम्प्रथम छोजा तदेत्यथा पिते रस्माभिरीशां च सुरैर्नमस्यते या च स्मृता तत्क्षणम् एव हन्ति नः सर्व पदो भक्ति वीणा म्रे मूर्तिभिः। Devotees, we will now have two bhajans. Hari Om.
विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। सदराह दिखा करके उद्धार करो माता, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी। दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है। मन में रहो तुम सबकी, तुमसे यही आशा है। दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है। मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे यही आशा है। क्या मेरा क्या उसका, यहाँ अपना पराया क्या। सतज्योत जला करके रोशन करो जग सारा, रोशन करो जग सारा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी। संसार तो माया है, कभी धूप कभी छाया है। एक दिन उसे जाना है, यहाँ आया है। संसार तो माया है, कभी धूप कभी छाया है। एक दिन उसे जाना है जो भी यहाँ आया है। क्या रंग है जीवन का, क्या रूप है मानव का। तुम ज्ञान बढ़ा करके उपकार करो दुर्गा, उपकार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। सदराह दिखा करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तेरी गोद में सर है मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर है मैया। तेरी गोद में सर है मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर है मैया। दुनिया नजरे फेरे तो फेरे, दुनिया नजरे फेरे तो फेरे, मुझ पे तेरी नजर है मैया। तेरी गोद में सर है मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर है मैया। मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार। यहाँ भी है, तेरा दर्श वहाँ भी है। तेरा दर्श यहाँ भी है, तेरा दर्श वहाँ भी है। हर दुख से लड़ने को मैया तेरा एक जयकारा काफी है, काफी है। मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार। दिल में लगा तेरा दरबार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार। मैं संतान तू माता, तू मेरे जीवन दाता। मैं संतान तू माता, तू मेरी जीवन दाता। जग से सबसे गहरा मैया तेरा और मेरा है नाता, है नाता। मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, मैया तेरी जय जयकार। तेरी गोद में सर है मैया, अब मुझको क्या डर है मैया। दुनिया नजरे फेरे तो फेरे, दुनिया नजरे फेरे तो फेरे, मुझ पे तेरी नजर है डर है मैया, मैया तेरी जय जयकार, 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 मैया तेरी जय जयकार।
Harihi Om. Today we will be discussing chapter 5 of the Durga Saptashati. So it starts off with the Dhyan on Devi, and here Devi is described as Maha Saraswati, who presides over the third Charita. She is Devi's Sattvic aspect. She has 8 hands, which hold the symbols of her powers, and which are described as follows. A bell. Among the divergent meanings of the bell, the one that best befits the Mata in the Durga Saptashati's narrative is the power to inspire fear in enemies. Its clear tone symbolizes the spiritual insight that dispels ignorance. The Trishul or trident. Usually, the Trishul's 3 points are said to represent the divine powers of creation, preservation, and destruction. Alternatively, they symbolize the destruction of time, space, and causation. The Shankh or conch shell. The Shankh destroys ignorance. Its auspicious sound symbolizes the power of awakening to divine awareness. The Gada or mace. According to the Varaha Purana, the mace destroys unrighteousness or adharma. The Chakra or discus. The chakra is constantly turning wheel of time, which inexorably destroys all that has name and form. The bow and arrows. The Vishnu Purana interprets the bow as the tamasic aspect of the ego and the arrows as the sensory and motor organs. The plow. Its symbolism relates to the agricultural fertility, but metaphorically, the plow furrows through the individual consciousness, creating auspicious impressions and allowing seeds of wisdom to be sown. Maybe so, what I want to ask the members is that this description of Mahasaraswati does not in any way resemble the Saraswati that we are used to, who has the Veena in her hand. So this was a warrior goddess based on all of the things that are described that she's holding. We will now begin with the actual chapter 5. The Bij mantra Kleem signifies Devi's important nature as pure bliss or Ananda. Long ago, grown arrogant with power, the Asuras, Shum and Nishum seized Indra's sovereignty over the 3 worlds and his share of Yagya. In like manner, they usurped the authority of Surya Bhagwan and Chandradev, and that of Kuber, Yamraj, and Varuna, the lords of wealth, death, and the ocean. They seized Pavan Dev's power and Agni's functions. The Devas were defeated, deposed, and driven out. The Asura, who characterized the forces of chaos, the opposite of Dharma, seized what is lawfully the dominion of the Devas. In the previous Charita, when Mahisha ejected the Devas from Swarg, we may assume that he also appropriated Deva's share of Yagya and their wealth, although this material theft is not mentioned. To the contrary, it is specified elaborately so in the third Charitra. Here, the Deva's circumstances after the depredations of the Asuras, Shum and Nishum, parallel the situation of the merchant Samadhi, whose family stole all his material wealth. Even as the Katha of Mahishasur is directed to the king Suratha, the story of Shumbha and Nishumha is intended for the merchant Samadhi, a common man whose involvements with business, wealth, and family belong entirely to this world. Dispossessed and driven out from Swarg, the Devas, instead of appealing to Sri Hari Vishnu and Bhagwan Shiva as they did before, appealed directly to the Devi, recalling her promise to intervene whenever remembered in times of misfortune. They proceed to the Himalayas and praise her there. The Devas appeal to her as Vishnu Maya, a name that also resonates with the name Yoga Nidra, used earlier in the Durga Saptashati to express the Devi's own supreme power. For it was Yoga Nidra who had settled over Sri Vishnu's eyes. Shloka number 8 announces the Aparajita Stuti. This stuti is a great celebration of Devi's immanence, praising her various aspects and power. The Aparajita Stuti is a treasury of divine names and descriptions. Many of them individually carry a host of associations and ideas, and the English language lacks the equivalent terms to express the fullness of the Sanskrit origins. The opening line contains the name Mahadevi, which is used as a salutation to the great Devi, who is auspicious in her own right. Prakriti is the divine energy which manifests as the universe. Moreover, she is Bhadra, gracious, auspicious, and favorable. And the linking of the two terms creates a positive view of a world that simultaneously emanates from and is pervaded by the Divine Mother. The Devi is also Rodra, violent, impetuous, fierce, wild, and inauspicious. This shloka then states that Devi is also Nitya, self-existent and constant, the ever-changing circumstances of the physical universe. However violent they may appear at times, take place against the eternal changeless of the divine reality, the reality that is Gauri, the shining, self-luminous consciousness, and also Dhatri, the support of the world. The usage of Kalyani, auspicious, beautiful, and lovely, in the Rig Veda commonly denotes feminine beauty. Devi's auspiciousness is linked to Vriddhi, growth, or prosperity, and Siddhi, attainment. Although she appears as the good fortune of kings, the second line of the shloka, that she also appears as the misfortune, an obvious reference to the worldly responsibility and consequences of good and evil actions of karma. The word Durgapara means she who takes a cross, that is, one who rescues, saves, and protects from difficulties. The first line, Durgaye Durgaparaye Saraye Sarvakarinye, means that Ma Durga, who sees us through the worst of circumstances, is also the essence and the maker or doer of all things. In other words, she is the Divine Mother who herself appears as and acts in the universe. Devi is the most gentle, Ati Somya, and the most fierce, Ati Rodra. The adjective Somya conjures up visions of the moon's cool serenity, and Rodra evokes the tempest's fierce howling, starkly contrasting images from nature that declare the plurality of the benign and yet terrifying deity. The Stuti's central portion, from shlokas 14 to 76, consists of 21 nearly identical shlokas, of which 19 differ from one another only by one word, with each word ending in rupena, meaning in the form of. The salutation Namastasye is uttered 3 times and is itself numbered as a shloka. The Devi, who in all beings is seen as Vishnu Maya, is the creative power that is inseparable from and ultimately one with the self-luminous absolute. Chaitana can be defined as the state of awareness that has emerged from the absolute and unchanging consciousness. Buddhi, the instrument of intelligence, discerns, doubts, determines, reasons, and wills. Although it is a limited manifestation of consciousness, it is the highest faculty of the human mind and possesses the potential power of divine revelation. In chapter 1, Rishi Medas identifies Mahamaya with Yoganitra, who had settled over Vishnu's eyes as his blessed sleep. That passage makes a clear connection between Nidra, sleep, and Yoganidra, who it says is the ruler, sustainer, and dissolver of the universe. She is the power that projects from out of her own formlessness. She deludes all creatures by limiting their awareness and perpetuating cyclical existence of samsara. When the Devi is said to abide in all beings in the form of sleep, that refers to a cosmic aspect as the creator of the physical universe. Shuddha refers to the hunger of all creatures. As hunger abiding within all creatures, the Devi keeps us in the embodied state, separated from our true wholeness and bound by Maya's limitations. Chaya means shade or shadow. In the physical universe, it is a visible manifestation of tamas that results from the blockage of light. Metaphorically, chaya is a blockage of light of pure consciousness by the veiling power of Mahamaya. The shadow thus cast as the material universe, which is nothing less than the formless Devi appearing as form. We must remember that she is the shadow, that which casts the shadow and the light, the universe, its cause, and its divine source. The word Shakti means power, ability, strength, and energy. Everything in the universe is nothing other than the Divine Mother herself, shining vibrantly in every form. Trishna, or thirst, like hunger, has a gross form involved in sustaining physical life, and a metaphoric meaning, a thirst for life itself, that is to say, a longing to enjoy the objects of the senses. Shanti, that is forgiveness or patience, is one of the several auspicious attributes named in Stuti. Forgiveness plays a healing role in three different ways: regarding the harm we have done to others, the harm that others have done to us, and the harm we do to ourselves. Forgiveness releases us from the past and opens our lives to renewal. The word jati, or order, comes from the root jan, meaning to be born and to come into existence. Jati is one's own form of existence as determined by birth, the genus, species, and class to which each thing belongs. Lajja refers to modesty and also to the reduction of ego. Modesty entails the lessening of ego and an outward expansion toward unity. Through modesty, the beneficent Devi leads her children to greater harmony and awareness. Shanti, or peace, is a welcome condition in the often conflict-ridden world. Spiritually, Shanti is the inner peace that comes with the higher knowledge that lessens and ultimately frees us from attachment to the physical body, sensory experiences, and ever-shifting states of mind. It is evenness of mind in happiness and sorrow. Shraddha, or faith, was understood originally as confidence on the part of worshippers that their yajna would produce results, and that the trust thus engendered would lead to strength of unwavering conviction. Since Shraddha entails expectation, it forges a bridge of reciprocity between the human and the divine. According to the Sanatan view, merely saying, I believe, will not whisk one into a state of salvation. At some point, doubt can even be a sign of healthy engagement in the quest of spiritual truth. Shraddha is not blind acceptance, but initially a working hypothesis of trust in the Guru's teaching, an attitude to be cultivated along with prescribed practices such as meditation and the repetition of mantras, which provide experience. Kanti means beauty, and particularly feminine beauty or loveliness. We experience beauty in countless ways: in nature, in art, and in music, in human thoughts and deeds. And in every such experience, the Devi is revealing herself and inspiring wonder. Beauty is the Divine Mother's way of reminding us of her presence. Lakshmi, or good fortune, is the Divine Mother's gift of abundance and happiness. The term vritti, or activity, refers to the constant motion and change in all things. This can also refer to the changing thoughts in our minds. One moment we are happy, another moment we are sad, then we are at peace, and this constant change is what we refer to as vritti. Smriti, or memory, our scriptures belong to two classes: Shruti, what is heard or divinely revealed, and Smriti, what is remembered or of human origin. The Vedas alone are Shruti. Everything else is considered Smriti and is authentic insofar as it conforms to the Vedas. Daya, or compassion. Compassion can be defined as any action that diminishes the Hari Om, it appears as if I may have become muted. I'm not sure what you may have heard last, but I will repeat Daya. Daya, compassion can be defined as any action that diminishes the suffering of others. For Sanatinis, which embraces not merely a sympathetic attitude, but a commitment to active service. It is quintessentially divine quality. And when reflected in human behavior, it opens us up to the divine. Tushti, or contentment. In the material world, we understand contentment as satisfaction or the fulfillment of desires. But that describes only tamasic form, and such contentment is fleeting indeed. The higher contentment signals a sense of fullness arising from the cessation of desire. It distances us from the driving sense of lack that invariably arises when consciousness is associated with ego. The higher contentment is the Divine Mother's gentle reminder that the true self wants for nothing. The Devi abides in all beings as a mother, Matri. It is the mother alone who wraps spirit in matter, and all mothers of all creatures thus replicate the process of the universal mother, who gives birth to the universe of name and form. She dwells in every one of us, and her indwelling presence is a constant reminder that we are never alone. Devi abides in everything in the form of error or bhranti. We experience this sometimes dark, sometimes dazzling world only because the Devi abides in the form of terror. We can understand that error is simply a wandering away from the truth, a misreading of reality that takes the finite parts of the infinite whole. How do we experience the universe just described? Through Devi herself, who pervades and presides over the instruments of consciousness and the elements of which the senses and their objects are composed. The Devi herself is pure consciousness, which is both the source and, when modified, the manifestation of the perceptible world. Though translated here as consciousness, the term chitti more accurate means the thinking mind. Chitti is not the absolute consciousness chit, but the absolute ideational energy that brings about the world process. The Devi abides in her creation as a creative consciousness, pervading the entire world that is ever in motion. The mention of the Ganga establishes the sphere of action as right here on earth. Coming to bathe in the holy river, the Devi appears as Parvati. When Parvati asks the gods, "Whom are you praising?" an auspicious form emerges from her own body and replies, "The stuti is an appeal to me." This lovely manifestation, we are told, is glorified as Koshiki because she came forth from Parvati's bodily form of Kosha. As soon as she emerges, Parvati darkens and is henceforth known as Kalika or Kali, who will play a major role in the course of events. This play of light and dark illustrates graphically the Devi's dual nature of bright auspiciousness and dark terror. Mahisha was the only demon of the previous Charita to be well characterized, while his attendant generals remained little more than colorful descriptive names. In the elaborately drawn multiple episodes of the Shumb and Nishum Katha, the demons possess fully developed and very human personalities. First, we meet the toting servants Chand and Mun, who bring news to Shumb of a beautiful Devi whose radiance illuminates the Himalayas. Playing upon Shumbha's vanity, they flatter him with an account of his riches and powers, all stolen from the Devas, and adding up to the sickening excess when concentrated in the Asura's hands. If Shumbha possesses all that, Chanda and Munda ask, should he not also possess the fairest of Devis? His lust inflamed at the thought of the beautiful maiden, Shumbha sends Sugriva to court her. The messenger, who represents deceit and hypocrisy, knows full well that his fine words intend to mislead. Shumbha's message to Devi states, all the three worlds are mine, and the Devas submit to my will. I enjoy each one's share of the yajna, every one of them. We think of you, O goddess, as the jewel amongst women of the world, which indeed you are. Come to us, for we take pleasure in all the finest things. The Devi knows it too, and ironic humor colors their exchange. With honeyed words spoken in unctuous tones, Sugriv glorifies his hideous master by boasting of the Asura's dazzling wealth and power. Note the irony when Devi pretends to take his words at face value, saying, "You have spoken the truth. There is nothing false in what you have said." Sugriva's attempt at beguilement represents the seductive nature of the world. As Rishi Medas earlier alerted the king and merchant behind the glittering facades of material wealth and temporal power, things are not as they seem. Even the marriage proposal strikes us as odd, because Shumbha's exact words transmitted through the messenger are, "Choose either me or my valiant younger brother Nishumbha." The significance of this becomes clear only much later when we discover exactly what Shumbha and Nishumbha symbolize. In response, the Devi issues a challenge, citing a vow to wed only him who conquers her in battle. This initiates an escalating series of challenges and counter-challenges that drive the narrative to its climax. Piqued at the Devi's refusal, Sugriv changes his tone from seductive to confrontational. Insultingly, he asks how she, a mere woman alone, can hope to defy Shumbha and Shumbha, against whom even the Devas are powerless. And he threatens her with the humiliation of being dragged away by her hair. This conversation ends very differently than it began, and the Devi, bemused playfulness stands in marked contrast to Sugriv's increasing bluster. It is the same playfulness we saw previously when she serenely met Mahishra's demon on an army head-on. All the demons, Madhu and Ketab, Mahisha, and those we have yet to meet, represent human vices, weaknesses, and failings, and without exception, they take themselves very seriously. The Devi is blissfully beyond such silly and ultimately self-defeating posturing. Once again, she voices her challenge to Shumbha, and with her last words, "Let him do what is fitting," the chapter closes on a note of ominous expectation. Jai Mata Di. Devotees, we will now do Lakshmi Chalisa.
मातु लक्ष्मी करो कृपा, करो हृदय में वास, मनोकामना सिद्ध करे, पूर्ण हो मेरे आस। यही मोर आदास, हाथ जोड़ विनती करो, सब विधि करो सुहास। जय जननी जगदम्बिका। सिंधु सुता में सुमिरो तो, ज्ञान बुद्धि विद्या दोही, तुम समान नहीं कोई उपकारी, सब विधि पूर्वनाश जय जय जगत जननी जगदम्बा, सबकी ही तुम हो बला। माता क्षीर सिंधु जब विष्णु मतायो 14 रत्न सिंधु में पायो। 14 रत्न में तुम सुख राशि सेवा कियो प्रभु बनदासी। जब जब जन्म जहाँ प्रभु लीना रूप बदलता है सबकीना। स्वयं विष्णु जब नर्तन धारा लीनो अवधपुरी अवतारा। तुम तब प्रगट जनकपुर माई सेवा की हृदय पुलकाई। अपनाया तो ही अंतर्यामी विश्व विदित त्रिभुवन के स्वामी। तुम सम प्रबल शक्ति नहीं आनी कहाँ तक महिमा कहो बखानी। मन कर्म वचन करे सेवा की मन इच्छित वंचित फल पावे। चली फल कपट और चतुराई तुझही विविध भक्ति मन लाई। और हाल में कहूँ बुझाई जो ये बात करे मनाई। ताको कोई कष्ट ना होई मन इच्छित फल पावे सोई। त्राहि त्राहि जय दुख निवारणी त्रिविध ताप भव बंधन हारणी। जो 40 पढ़े पढ़ावे ध्यान लगा कर सुने सुनावे। तापु कोई न रोग सतावे पुत्र आदि धन संपत्ति पावे। पुत्रहीन और संपत्तिहीना अंध बधिर कोढ़ी अति दीना। विप्र बोल कई पाठ करावे शंका दिल में कभी ना लावे। पाठ करावे दिन 40 पर कृपा करे गौरीसा। सुख संपत्ति बहुत सी पावे कमी प्रकार मैं करूं बधाई, ज्ञान बुद्धि नहीं अधिकाई। सिंधु सूत में सुमिरो तो ज्ञान बुद्धि विद्या दो, ज्ञान बुद्धि विद्या दो, ज्ञान बुद्धि विद्या दो। त्राहि त्राहि दुख हारो, हरो भेदी सब त्रास। जयति जयति जय लक्ष्मी, करी शत्रु का नाश। हरिधारिदायिनी नित, विनय करत करी जोड़। मातु लक्ष्मी दास पर, करू दया का तोड़। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता, मैं जय लक्ष्मी माता। तुमको निश दिन सेवत, तुमको निश दिन सेवत, हर विष्णु विधाता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता। ओम राम ब्रह्माणी, तू ही जगमाता, मैया तू ही जगमाता। सूर्य चंद्रमा ध्यावत, सूर्य चंद्रमा ध्यावत, नारद ऋषि गाता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता। दुर्गा रूप निरंजन, सुख संपत्ति दाता, मैया सुख संपत्ति दाता। जो कोई तुमको ध्यावत, जो कोई तुमको ध्यावत, रिद्धि सिद्धि धन पाता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता। तुम पताल निवासिनी, तू ही शुभ दाता, मैया तू ही शुभ दाता। कर्म प्रभाव प्रकाशिनी, कर्म प्रभाव प्रकाशिनी, भवनिधि से त्राता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता। जिस घर में तुम रहते, सब सद्गुण आता, मैया सब सद्गुण आता। सब संभव हो जाता, सब संभव हो जाता, मन नहीं घबराता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता। तुम दिन यज्ञ होने, वस्त्र न कोई पाता, मैया वस्त्र न कोई पाता। खान पान का वैभव, खान पान का वैभव, सब तुमसे आता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता। शुभ गुण तुम बिन, रत्न चतुर्दश तुम बिन कोई नहीं पाता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता, महालक्ष्मी की आरती जो कोई नर गाता, या जो कोई नर गाता, पुर आनंद उमंगे, पुर आनंद उमंगे, पाप उतर जाता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता, ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता, मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता। तुमको निश दिन सेवत, तुमको निश दिन सेवत, फिर विष्णु विधाता। ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता, ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता, ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता।
Om Karpur Gauram Karunavataram Sansar Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudatwajam Mangalam Pundari Kaksha Mangalayatano Hari Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मन्तर्कृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। ओम सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम अपराधा सहस्राणि किरन्ते हर्निशं मया, दासोऽयमिति मम मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वरम्। आवाहनं न जानामि न जानामि विसर्जनं, पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षमस्व परमेश्वरम्। ओम अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम, तस्मात् कारुण्याभवेन रक्ष त्वं परमेश्वरम्। हरि ओम डिवोटीज, जय माता दी।